the rebound. Pelto scores and one.
Wendell picks it off. A shot, Nicole. The third time tonight. Ball is stripped, and there's Laurinaitis with the football, and he's going to go for a touchdown.
Crevier on the header, and it's a goal!
Swings it for Bryant, three-pointer, it's good!
Swing and a miss, outside pitch. 2 strikeouts for Nishek.
Hello and welcome to the CCX Sports Hall of Fame Induction Show for 2018. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. This is our 15th season of honoring former high school athletes and coaches who played or coached here in the Northwest suburbs.
We have 4 new inductees in this year's class representing 4 different high schools in sports from hockey, soccer, basketball, football, and track and field. Let's get started with a standout on the ice who is now a seasoned veteran in the National Hockey League.
He is one of the best, maybe the best, hockey player in Breck school history. We welcome Plymouth native Blake Wheeler into the CCX Sports Hall of Fame. Blake was part of a talented group of athletes growing up in Plymouth. He played baseball, football, and hockey, and was frequent teammates with 2 players who made it to the National Football League, James Laurinaitis and Don Barber. All 3 guys were part of the Wayzata Bantam hockey team that won the National Silver Stick Championship in 2001.
We were just always really a talented group. You know, we didn't lose many football games, didn't lose many baseball games, you know, hardly lost hockey games. My memories are of all of that, of playing all those sports with those guys and having a ton of success. And
Blake attended Wayzata schools through his freshman year and then headed to Breck, where he said he enjoyed the school's smaller class sizes. In his junior year at Breck, Wheeler's teams enjoyed tremendous success. Number 17 Wheeler played tight end in football, and playing with 3 Division I players at other skilled positions. Throw and complete to Wheeler, the tight end, for a first down. He and the Mustangs rolled through the playoffs to finish 14-0 and Class 2A state champions.
well, that's an offense that would have put up a lot of points on probably everyone that year. And we had a few guys play some big-time college football off that team. A quarterback like Liam, you know, is pretty special to have as well. And Brandon and TJ Thiel were incredible athletes at receiver. So, you know, that was the last year of football I played ultimately, and it was a nice way to go out.
But hockey was Blake's real passion in sports. Following that state football title run, the Mustangs did the same on the ice. With Wheeler scoring 100 points in just 31 games, Breck lost only once all season and skated home with the Class A title.
Yeah, I remember we lost the year before, kind of in a huge upset to Richfield in the first round of the section playoffs. So I think that kind of lit a fire under everyone. And I remember coming into the next year, and we were on a mission that year.
After a year of junior hockey in Green Bay, Blake fulfilled another life dream, lacing up the skates for the University of Minnesota. He played 3 seasons for the Gophers and scored one of the most memorable goals in the program's rich history. Blake's overtime goal against North Dakota on St. Patrick's Day 2008 lifted the Gophers to the Final 5 championship. Ironically, though, a week later, the Sioux eliminated the Gophers to advance to the Frozen Four.
It's a shame that we didn't make it at least to the Frozen Four with those teams and ultimately win it all. But you know, some of my best friends to this day are guys I played with at Minnesota.
But bigger things awaited. That summer, Blake signed with the Boston Bruins, one of the National Hockey League's original 6 franchises.
Wheeler in front, rams it home.
Certainly an awe-inspiring experience.
To kind of walk into training camp and you're immediately, you know, in the same dressing room as, you know, Zdeno Charas and Mark Savards and Patrice Bergeron, to name a few. You know, you feel almost out of place. You don't really know where you fit in, and then you go out there and it's just a game. You know, you're doing the same thing you've been doing your whole life, and to know that you belong there was a great feeling.
After 2.5 seasons in Boston, Wheeler was dealt to the Atlanta Thrashers, who just a few months later moved to Winnipeg and became the Jets.
I went from sort of more of a limited role with Boston to coming to Atlanta and playing for a coach that I'd had in Boston, had a relationship with, and gave me just an incredible opportunity. So for my career, it was the best thing that ever happened.
Now entering his 8th season in Winnipeg, he scored a career-high 91 points last season as the Jets made a run all the way to the Western Conference Finals. Wheeler netted 3 playoff goals and tallied 18 assists in the Jets' 17 postseason games.
And I think that it was kind of the people's coming out party a little bit. We're not just the little guys, and kind of getting Winnipeg front and center.
32-year-old veteran is also the Jets captain.
I've had a great relationship with the people in Winnipeg, so I don't think they view me as an American or an outsider. I think in some bigger markets like Montreal or Toronto, it might be a little bit different. As far as I'm concerned, Winnipeg reminds me a lot of where I grew up, so it doesn't feel like foreign territory. It feels like I'm just one of them,
Blake was good friends with Samantha Schwalbe at Breck. He and Sam started dating in college, and now they are married with 3 children, sons Louie and Lenny and their daughter Mace. The family splits their time between Winnipeg and Florida, but they do get home here to Minnesota for a couple of weeks each summer. And Blake told me, he said, I didn't think of the National Hockey League when I was 13 or 14. He said, my goal was to play in the state high school hockey tournament. He did that, and obviously a lot more.
Yeah, a lot of kids growing up with that dream, and he certainly fulfilled that and has gone on to great things. Really proud of what he's done as a pro, too. And
he credits Sam with all the work she does with their children when he's out of town for hockey. We will take our first break, and stay with us here. Our next Hall of Fame inductees starred in track and field and soccer for Osseo.
Welcome back. High school athletes often feel the pressure to specialize in one sport. Our next inductee stayed busy in all 3 portions of the high school season.
She was a top athlete in Minnesota in 2 sports. We welcome 2003 Osseo graduate Alissa Ochs to our CCX Sports Hall of Fame.
Remembering my times in high school, it was super fun to reflect on, and knowing that both you and John are still at CCX is a testament to what you do, and it's just an honor. So thank you so much for letting me do this. This is really exciting to go down memory lane.
Ochs played 3 sports for the Orioles: soccer, basketball, and track and field. In track, she placed in the top 10 at state a total of 5 times in the long jump and triple jump, saving her best for last with a runner-up finish in the long jump and winning the state title and breaking the state record in the triple jump as a senior.
That is still one of the highlights of my not only athletic career, but I think my life. I definitely, I still remember the moment that I just knew I hit it, and I knew that we were waiting for that tape measure to actually tell the number, and then when it went up on the board, and knowing that that state record had been broken, and not only that, of course, it was my best jump ever at that point. Just awesome memories. I'm still just happy and grateful for that moment.
Alyssa may have been just as good in soccer. She earned first-team All-State honors as a senior, scoring 15 goals for a conference title-winning Orioles squad alongside Ms. Soccer winner Kat Grambier.
Number 1 comes back to my teammates. I was so grateful not only for the people that they were, but the talent that surrounded me. If you have talented people around you and good people around you, you're not only a better person, but you're a better athlete. And so we were all very fortunate to have each other.
And she was a forward for us, so scored a lot of goals, and I think speed is a big thing when it comes to soccer, and you can't teach that. I can't say I taught her how to be fast. She was fast, and you're right, the track and everything along with that helped that. Good ball control so she could use the speed and the soccer technical ability to score lots of goals for us.
Excelling in both sports presented a tough decision when it came time to pick a college. Ultimately, Ivy League school Columbia, and its track offer won out. Ochs had a solid career at Columbia, captaining the Lions in her junior and senior seasons and breaking the school indoor record in the triple jump. her career ended in interesting fashion.
And was visually seeing myself do this last jump of my whole career, and I made it. That was my best jump of my whole career. I jumped 40 feet 3 inches, which is 1.5 feet further than in high school. And I was able to make the regional championships at that point down in Florida, but that would have interfered with my graduation ceremony. My family was coming out, my friends, and so I chose to end my athletics journey on my own, and I did not go to regionals, and I feel really good about that.
Now, after time spent in New York, Chicago, San Francisco, and San Diego, Alyssa is back in her home state. Married with 2 young children, she's living in Edina and works for Groupon from her home office.
Really what I do, in long story short, is I'm in global operations for our HR department, and I make things more efficient. So we're in 18 countries, and when we roll something out, we want to make sure that it's done as streamlined and as synchronized as possible in all of these countries.
And being a mom is the best challenge of all for new Hall of Famer Alissa Ochs.
They give you the biggest hugs and the biggest smiles, and they just, the sweet and pure joy and innocence is just you can't replicate it. So yes, I would say it's all that I thought it would be from the positive side, and man, it's a lot harder. So.
A lot of parents would share that sentiment. What a great athlete, and very humble. She spoke really a lot more about the relationships with her teammates maybe than all the wins and losses along the way. I think
this is a common theme from all the people that were meeting in this show as they talk about the teammates and those memories that they have from high schools and those friendships they made. And what a way to go out with that record-setting jump in her last ever jump here at Columbia. We're halfway home on our CCX Sports Hall of Fame show. Straight ahead, meet a basketball and soccer standout from Armstrong. Armstrong High School has had a number of inductees into our Hall of Fame throughout the years. The latest Falcons inductee combined heart, desire, and plenty of talent to become a star.
She was a 2-sport standout in the Classic Lake Conference a decade ago. We welcome 2009 Armstrong High School graduate Nicole Dooher into the CCX Sports Hall of Fame.
On her to pick up her 3rd foul. Here's another steal for Nicole Dooher.
Dooher is a 4-year letter winner for the Falcons in both soccer and basketball. As a freshman on the soccer pitch in the fall of 2005, she made a memorable debut.
My first game as a freshman for high school soccer, I scored 4 goals, so that kind of let me shake off all my nerves, and it was great from then on.
Nicole went on to enjoy a prolific career at Armstrong in the tough Classic Lake, going against teams like Wayzata, Minneapolis, and Edina. Good competition was something Nicole did not shy away from.
The competition was like everything to me, so it pushed me harder, and it kind of just like made every game more fun. I loved the competition in both sports.
Dooher started playing both soccer and basketball in the Crystal, New Hope, Plymouth Park and Rec programs at age 6. But it was her time spent competing against brothers Zach and Andrew that helped fuel Nicole's competitive nature.
We fought all the time. We were playing basketball, soccer, like every sport you can imagine, but I always beat them, so that's good. But yeah, definitely my brothers pushed me to be competitive.
The Falcons reached the state soccer tournament in Nicole's junior year. She was a Miss Soccer finalist as a senior, but her team fell 1 game short of state, losing at home to Wayzata in the section final. She remembers the feeling when it was all over.
It was really hard. I was dreading that moment, that last game, because I loved it so much, and I just wanted to enjoy the journey. And the last soccer game when we lost in the section finals, we just weren't ready to leave. The teammates and I, we just sat out on the field for a couple hours and just talked and sat there. We're like, we're not ready for the season to be over.
But after soccer ended, Nicole still had another basketball season to go that senior year. She passed 1,000 career points along the way and was a player that head coach Antoine Easley loved to have.
She was the type of player that was really competitive, real strong mentally, and just had a great sense of things developing on the court prior to them actually playing out.
Nice steal by Dooher as she steps in front of Conrad. Dooher fouled +1.
Dooher came off the bench as a freshman as the Falcons beat Cooper in the section final to reach the state tournament, and then was a starting guard for the Falcons for 3 years. She was a scorer, but not necessarily a shooter.
She had a really good knack of getting to the basket, and she could finish in traffic as good as anyone. I think that was probably her strongest skill set, is her ability to finish around the basket with contact. I think her senior year, she definitely led us in free throw attempts because she could get to the basket and finish.
My senior year, there was about 6 or 7 of us that played both soccer and basketball, so the transition was great. We worked really well together. We were all athletes running up and down the court, and we just meshed really well. We had that chemistry, and so that really helped, I think, compete in the Classic Lake Conference.
Nicole loved both basketball and soccer, but when it came down to it, she signed for college in soccer, committing to Division I Wisconsin Green Bay.
Soccer recruiting's a lot earlier, so that's why I just went with it. D1, Green Bay, just all worked out. So, but I did, it was a tough decision, and I do miss basketball.
After one season with the Phoenix, she came back to Minnesota and excelled in her 3 years at Minnesota State Mankato.
It was far from home, so I'm glad I made the decision to transfer to Mankato. So I was at Mankato then for the rest of the 3 years there, and I loved every minute of it. So I would rather compete for a national championship than have stayed at Green Bay. So it was a good decision, and I'm glad I made the switch.
Dooher became one of the top players in Mavericks history, earning All-Conference, All-Region, and second-team All-American honors her senior year. Mankato reached the quarterfinals of the NCAA Division II playoffs that season, the program's deepest playoff run.
I feel so honored to be a part of that team. So my 3 years at Mankato were so fun, competing for a national championship.
Now 27 years old, Nicole Dooher has had a few years to reflect on her time at Armstrong, a time that she remembers with pride and with a smile.
I have the greatest memories from here at Armstrong. Between soccer and basketball, it just was the greatest time. I will hold on to those memories forever. Just the friendships I built with my teammates. I had great coaches that pushed me through, and athletics was my life, so it was awesome.
Nicole received her master's degree in healthcare management at Concordia St. Paul. She is now an office manager at a health clinic in Burnsville and has a 4-year-old son, Carter. Nicole said she would love to get into coaching someday soon, and to that end she has coached already when she was at Concordia and also with Coach Easley at Armstrong, and would like to get back into it. Still kind of misses that whole competitive part of both sports.
That brings back a lot of good memories, seeing her out on the soccer field and also the basketball court. She was a really good player in both of those sports. Well, we'll meet our final new Hall of Famer who electrified basketball fans at Park Center in just a moment.
Welcome back to our CCX Sports Hall of Fame show.
Our 4th member of the class of 2018 becomes, for the time being anyway, the youngest member of our Hall of Fame. He lit up the scoreboard on the basketball court at Park Center.
He's one of the top basketball players ever in the Northwest Suburbs. We welcome 2013 Park Center graduate Quinton Hooker to our CCX Sports Hall of Fame.
Honestly, it's pretty crazy. Just looking back at, through my high school years and even before that and to where I am now, honestly, it's, you got to give, God all the glory just for putting me in the situations that he did, surrounding me with the, amazing people that he has. And honestly, it's really all been a blessing to be in this position.
Quinton Hooker throws it. Hooker scored over 2,100 points in his Pirates career and won Minnesota's Mr. Basketball Award after a superb senior season.
My teammates get so much credit, my coaches, my family, just having my back through it all and, supporting me and, making me better and pushing me to become, something that I was trying to work towards.
His abilities as a shooter, driver, and passer were top-notch for Park Center. What made Hooker really special, though, was his leadership on and off the court.
He even accepted those times when I blamed him when it wasn't even his fault. But he grew from that, he learned, he understood that I have to sometimes take things for the team even though I didn't have anything to do with it. And once he figured that out, he became very, very special.
Park Center boys basketball was in a down period when Quinton first came into the high school program. A lot of people wondered if he'd transfer to another school, but he and a talented group of teammates stuck with it. And by their senior season of 2012-2013, they won the Northwest Suburban Conference in Section 5 4A title.
And the Pirates win it!
It was the first trip to state for PC in 16 years, and they went all the way to the championship game before falling to Tyus Jones in Apple Valley.
You know, that really started it all, you know, going through those growing pains when I was, you know, in 8th and 9th grade, even sophomore year. You know, just fighting through that, playing with the older guys, you know, taking a beating, you know, playing against stronger, bigger guys. You know, it really prepared me for that next step.
You know, each year we got better and better, and you know, we didn't get that ultimate prize, but we got there. We got there, and we gained the respect of the community, the state of Minnesota. We gained that respect because of their commitment to buy into what we were doing and also follow his lead. The players followed his lead.
Quinton went on to play very well at the University of North Dakota. His college career in some ways mirrored his high school path, learning early and then becoming a star. Hooker was named a Lou Henson Mid-Major All-American as a junior and senior. He's in the top 10 in career points, assists, and steals for UND. And he led the Fighting Hawks to their first NCAA Division I tournament as a senior.
We had a very rough sophomore year, but it's years like those that, you know, real, you know, character and stuff like that shows. And after that, you know, we turned it around, and obviously senior year made a tourney run. And you know, it's kind of like how it was here at Park Center. You know, you go through battles and trials and stuff like that, but you know, at the end of the day, if you continue to fight through that, keep, you know, praying and, you know, trusting and everything like that, it really does pay off.
Quinton started his pro career in Europe last season, playing for GTK Gliwice in Poland.
And, you know, honestly, the city was great too. You know, my fiance Julia was able to go out with me, and you know, having her there really was just a blessing to have her by my side and, you know, get through the tough times and stuff like that. But, you know, also do some traveling over there too, and, you know, see Europe.
He's signed to play in France for this coming season, but making a team in his home country in the NBA is still something Quinton's shooting for.
I mean, that's obviously my end goal and where I want to be at. I think I can get there. I know I can play at that level.
He's been home to play in the Twin Cities Pro-Am the past couple of summers, and though his former high school coach Bo Powell is now at Cooper, you better believe Quinton Hooker's welcome around the Park Center program whenever he's available.
Anytime Quinton's around, I know, like right before he went overseas last year, we kind of had an open gym. We probably had 20 of our high school guys in the gym, and we actually had Quinton sit down and just talk about basketball, talk about life.
You know, it's really easy to do, but, you know, as much as I can, you know, just get in here with the guys, just talk with them, be around them, work out, and, you know, do as much as I can.
What a pleasure Quinton was to watch play and also to talk to, and we've sure had some great basketball talent in the area. He's got to be right up there with any of them.
You know, a great leader in the school, and also best of luck to him as his pro career continues. Well, that will do it for our 2018 CCX Hall of Fame show.
Congratulations to our new Hall of Famers, and what a blast it's been to catch up with all of them this summer.
Thanks so much to the athletes, their coaches, families, and schools for their help. And thanks to our hardworking crew, Matt Kilby, David Dobrin, Roger Larson, Jason Malillo, and more, for all of their help making this show a reality. And thank you for watching.